Florence Pugh joins Jeremy Renner in the new Hawkeye series. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Comic Book Nostalgia. I'm CB Nostalgia, and we have a little update on the Hawkeye series. But first, I wanted to remind everybody, if you're looking for your place for all your comic book news, rumors, and reviews, all while looking for the best and positive in these characters we love, make sure you hit that like button and press subscribe. Well, to steal a line from Quicksilver, I didn't see this coming, but earlier today we got some rather interesting news, more in the form of a rumor, about the upcoming Hawkeye series. Now, as we've seen recently, several images of Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye in production have been making the rounds, and we're still waiting for some confirmation that Kate Bishop has been cast, with the expected Haley Steinfeld taking up the role. We also know that the main villain is likely to be Madame Mask, and a couple of other characters have been lifted out of Matt Faction's run, such as the Tracksuit Mafia. But earlier today we got this rumor report from the Direct. Now take this with a grain of salt because it's not in a major trade and it's not an official announcement from Marvel Studios or Disney. But what we have learned is that Florence Pugh is going to be part of this Disney Plus series. As you know, Florence Pugh is taking up the role of Black Widow, which she is set to inherit in that Black Widow feature film coming up, well, hopefully in May. Now we do know this Black Widow movie is supposed to be somewhat of a handing of the baton film for Pugh's character, but we have no idea how this is all going to take place or how she'll appear in this movie. Now one of the other things I found in the report that was pretty interesting is her costume. I think many people sort of expected maybe a classic Black Widow costume, but apparently the costume she has in this series was inspired by Hawkeye's Ronin costume in Avengers Endgame. Now, like we said, most of this is rumors, but it could mean quite a few things. Florence Pugh's future at the MCU seems pretty bright, and the title of Black Widow clearly is going to be passed on to her. This shouldn't surprise anybody, and Marvel needs to kind of experiment to see if this will work, to see about the longevity of the MCU through multiple generations of actors. As of right now, it's totally unclear whether Clint Barton actually knew Yelena or even knew of her existence. Black Widow kept a lot of her past pretty close, but her integration into Clint Barton's family, these things might be known to him, so he may very well already know of Yelena or even have met her before. I also think we should consider the possibility that if she's not using a classic Black Widow suit and is taking up one that looks a lot like Ronin's, she might be throwing the Black Widow title somewhat out the window. Or it could be something maybe she's rebuking, and along several storylines she'll eventually pick up the mantle. The idea that Yelena Belova doesn't think she's worthy of the title of Black Widow, the title previously held by Natasha Romanoff, kind of gives her character a little extra story arc in taking up the title, and maybe even more honor in the mantle. One other odd thing to consider too is the Red Guardian was often associated with the alias Ronin, at least in the comics, so all those things could be tied together at some level. Now, as it stands right now, Yelena Belova and the Black Widow are set to hit screens on May the 7th. And Hawkeye is currently in production, and we don't have a release date for that. I am really curious on what you guys think of this rumor, though. So what do you guys think? Do you think Yelena Belova will keep the title of Black Widow? And what Marvel production would you expect her to appear in after Hawkeye? Sound off in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you press like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you won't get any updates. Peace.